Hey everybody, this is Nelson. I'm out here in Cypress at Bridgeland. This community isn't a brand new community. It's actually been being built for a while, but there's still a lot more they're building. There's still a lot of houses coming, um, and there's a lot of amenities. There's a green belt. There's a lot of walking trails, parks. It is a great place for family, a great place for community. A lot of gathering spaces. Right now, I'm sitting at just a random little sitting place that has a gazebo, um, and um, uh, and yeah, walking trails and water features and stuff behind me. So um, I am here today, but today what I'm actually going to be doing is talking about what I did. I get a lot of people who've asked me about moving to Houston, and they want the things that coming to Houston has to offer, like the the, the opportunity and things like that. But they're not sure if they want to move to Houston, and that right there is something that I can relate to. I lived in Long Beach, California, which is it's near LA. Um, it's um, a city lifestyle, but you still have suburban areas. Um, and We moved here, and when we moved here, we moved to Houston. We moved right outside the inner loop. Um, for those of you who don't know that terminology, I think at the end of this video I might have a little something to explain the different terminology that I had to get used to and accustomed to when I came to Houston. And we lived there for a while. We lived there for a little bit, and we moved here because of work for me. Um, and We moved there, and it was fine. It was good. It was it was convenient for some things, but there were some inconveniences that for our family we it didn't fit as well. So and that made us start looking more around Houston, and um, we found that there's so many areas around Houston that still give you that access to Houston that made a lot more sense for my family. So that's what I'm going to talk about today. I'm going to talk about the areas that are around Houston, which is usually where I like to show people homes who are interested in coming to the Houston area, but are not sure exactly what would fit them, right? You know, uh, we moved to where we moved to because, after doing a bunch of research and things like that, which I did on my own, it seemed like it would be the closest fit to where we had came from. But after being there for a couple of years, uh, we decided that there was definitely a better fit outside of the actual Houston city proper. So that's what I'm going to go over in this video. Uh, and then my next video next week will probably actually be touring some of these homes here at Bridgeland, and giving you guys an idea of what they have to offer, which there is a lot. So uh, I'm going to be showing you just some walking trails and things like that today, and talking about what we have to show. I'm sorry, not what we have to show, but uh, about the things, the pros of thinking about moving just outside of Houston, and also we'll even talk about some of the benefits that I had from living in Houston and that are there for living in Houston, and see what fits your family. All right, thank you. Let's have a look at what we have. Well, when I first moved here, I loved being close to everything inside of Houston: restaurants, culture, entertainment. But as life changed, I realized I wanted more space and a quieter environment and a community feel, and that's just something you don't really get in the city. And that's what pushed me to explore the suburbs. And honestly, it opened my eyes. You don't lose access to Houston, you just get more balance. Um, this is the biggest reason people choose the surrounding areas. For the same price as a smaller or older home in Houston, you can get a newer home with more square footage, a yard, maybe even a game room or office. You know, it still gives you access to Houston. We still can go see the basketball games. We still can go to the rodeo. We still can go see all the entertainment, all the restaurants and the bars and things like that that are in Houston. But even better than that is that in these suburb communities, you have a lot of those things. You know, you have restaurants, you have the community feel that you're missing in Houston, and you also have things to explore, things to do, and things for your family. The benefit of these suburbs also is that they're master plan communities that are designed with something in mind. For a lot of them, it's walking trails and nature. A lot of them are health and wellness and fitness, and all of them tend to lean towards community and community spaces and things to do with your community. There's contained within your communities, there are things like splash pads and pools. There's workout centers without having to pay the big city costs of fancy gyms. There's just so many more things to do out there. These areas feel almost like self-contained towns and not really little suburban areas. Some of them are big, you know, some of them are small. Some of them give you acreage. Some of them just spread you out a little bit. You're not right on top of your neighbor. There's less traffic, of course, because you're not in a big city. And if you do need to go to the city, like a lot of people do, work closer to the city for their job, for their employment, it's still not far from it. You know, 25, 35 minutes away. You have your grocery stores, you have HEB, you have Buc-ee's, you have things like that. You have Kroger's, you have local shopping, and you still can enjoy all those benefits that you got living in Houston. But now you're living in a home with a yard and a neighbor that you actually know, and your kids can actually play outside as opposed to living in the city. And don't get me wrong, it's not just city. When you're in Houston, they have urban and suburban areas, but it's still not the same feel. You don't get these walking trails, you don't get these outdoor spaces, and you don't get space at all in general, right? Your homes are much closer together, and that's not something that, if you have kids and you want areas to play in and things like that, that's not really something that's conducive to that. So, and one of the reasons that we had chose originally to move to Houston was because we were just thinking city, that's where the better education is going to be and things like that. But that was even wrong, right? There's top-rated schools in Cypress and in Conroe and in Katy, and there's Katy Mills Mall, which is massive, right? There's so many things to see and do for community, for family, for fun, for health, and just to be away from all that. You know, if you're a person who loves the nightlife and things like that, then maybe the city is better for you, or living closer to Houston proper. But if you just want to go visit that nightlife, but then want to be able to get away from it, if you just want to go to work, but then when you're not at work, you want to be away from it, these cities outside of Houston are where you want to look, you know. And if you're trying to figure out which Houston area matches what you're looking for, your lifestyle, reach out. I moved here myself. I've lived both inside the loop and now in Spring, and I love to help people make this move. Give me a call, give me a text message. I'd love to talk, even if it's just for information. I'll be here. Thank you. Before I go, I thought I'd show you this map. That's me in spring. That's the inner loop. That is the Beltway. And then you have the Woodlands, and you have Cypress, and you have Katy. So just a little bit of the map. You can usually get to Houston from most of these places in about 25 to 40 minutes. All right, everybody, that was it for this video, and just wanted to say thanks again for watching. And if you have any questions, you just want some information, or you want some help looking at some homes, either within Houston or right around Houston, in Katy, Conroe, the Woodlands, Hockley, Spring, I'd be happy to help. Happy to just give you information if that's all you need. Just send me a message or a text, or even give me a call, and love to help you. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.